Hi there, Rob Nixon here. Super excited to talk to you about a topic that is going to have a positive spin rather than all the negative spin that you've been listening to. Yes, the topic of the hour is coronavirus, but I want to talk about what you as the accountant can do in situations like this. You see, I believe the accountants of this world are the trusted advisor, the last trusted advisor. You're the one that should be leading your clients through this crisis. There's a lot going on in their heads right now. Some are going out of business. Some have already gone out of business, right? Governments, we can't stop them doing what they're doing. Things are happening all over the world, rapid pace. But what can you do? As an accounting firm with business clients, I think your number one job is to reassure them and help them specifically with cash, right? Cash reserves, refinancing, understanding cash conversion cycles, and really helping them in this time of confusion for them. Many of your clients are living week to week, business month to month, and don't have the cash reserves where they've been forced to close their business by the government. Or indeed, because people just don't go there anymore, like a restaurant or cafe, and they're going to be forced to close down as well. So I want to take you through a couple of scenarios and some great examples that you could help your clients. But this is all about you stepping up and working on your business, not in your business, as Michael Gerber said back in 1986. So I want to give you a story about a lady called Judy in the 08-09 financial crisis, three-partner firm in a small town in rural Australia. It was a boom or bust town. This particular town called Gladstone was at this point in time in a bust time. As a mining town and tourism as well. The GFC hits, the global financial crisis. And so what do? So based on suggestion, we said to her, why don't you run a small workshop called Cash Flow in a Crisis, subtitle, Managing Cash in Difficult Times. She had a boardroom of 10, could fit 10 people in the meeting room. She emails out, she fills 5 small workshop events, 90 minutes each, bought them a cup of tea and a biscuit, and so no cost at all. She educated her clients for 90 minutes about cash flow in a crisis, subtitle, Managing Cash in Difficult Times. She sells $250,000 worth of cash flow forecasting on the back of it. Now, I'm sure with today's tools, because she was using Excel back then, right? I'm sure with today's tools that you could do that pretty quickly. To pull together a virtual workshop using Zoom or other tools that you've got. But what are you going to deliver in the content? I want to show you something really quick about what you can actually do with a client to help them understand the numbers and make a difference to them. So I've just pulled together this quick spreadsheet called 5 Ways to Increase Your Profit. And it's simple mathematics that if we understand the number of customers, and I'll just get my little pointer here so we've got it. All right, we understand the number of customers, transaction frequency, transaction value average. That gives us our revenue, that times that times that. Jay Abraham invented that simple formula many years ago. But then we throw in cost of goods sold off the P&L, and we throw in expenses, and we'll get to the profitability figure. So to get to these numbers, you can help your clients get to these numbers. You'll know the profit figure, the overhead expenses, the GP, and the revenue for sure. We've got those numbers on the profit and loss income statement as well. But then to do the work back, we might say, okay, let's get the revenue. And how many invoices did you send? Oh, 2,500. So 2,500 invoices, what was the average invoice value? 500. That means that if we understand either the customer count or the transaction frequency, then we can work out exactly what the variables are here. And we've got a rough look at what the business looks like and what are the drivers going to be. So now we've got some rough numbers. You've got some rough numbers. By the way, you're about to get a free copy of this spreadsheet. Go to robnixon.com/5 ways and you'll be able to get it, right? But I'm just going to take you through before you go and get it, how you're going to work with your client. So your first step 1 is to work out the numbers with your clients, and they don't have to be accurate, right? This will work for 100% of businesses. Some will have different numbers, of course. And then we sit down with the client and say, look, in this time of crisis, what could we do with customer count? Could we turn on the marketing? The worst thing a business can do right now is turn off the marketing. Turn on the marketing, right? Because many of their competitors will turn off the marketing. What an opportunity, right? And so now we say, okay, with marketing activity, we'll increase the customer numbers by, let's say, 5%, not a whole lot, right? Frequency. Do you think we can add on an additional product? McDonald's, would you like any fries with that? You know, looking at inventing something brand new. Do you think we could get, you know, a slight lift, 1 in 10 buying something additional? And our frequency goes up by 10% to 5.5 times per annum. And then we say, what about transaction value? Now, could we add some fries with that? Could we add on different product with that? Could we increase the prices? Could we get an extra transaction value of 10%? Play around with the numbers. All of a sudden, we've now got a business that goes from $1.25 million in revenue to $1.588 million in revenue. It's going to be different as the client plays around with this. What a great value add this is. Now let's look at the cost of goods sold. Remember, the accountants are the number one in numbers. Cost of goods sold, we know it's 45% of revenue. What can we do to reduce that cost? Can we find better supply chains? Can we minimize and get the wastage out of the business? Can we, you're talking to your clients, right? Giving them some suggestions. Can we outsource, offshore some part of the labor costs, whatever it is? Could we reduce cost of goods sold by 10%? And that'll go from 45% to 40.5% of the revenue. What about overhead expenses, excluding the accounting fee, of course? You still want them to pay you. But what can we do? Take a good hard look at the fixed overhead and what can we trim, right? In times of boom, businesses get fat and happy. They get lazy, they get bloated. What can we trim? Can we trim out 10%, right? And all of a sudden we go from 45 down to 40.5. And with the mix of numbers here, we take the profit from $125,000 to $301,000. With some simple mathematics, understanding the numbers, you can really help your clients. Now, as we look at profits, one thing, cash is another, then we get involved in, you know, accounts receivable, we get involved in accounts payable, you get involved in, you know, the conversion cycle of turning, you know, the raw materials into getting paid, reducing that, you know, and looking at managing the cash. You know, number one question a business owner has, I made $300,000 profit, but where did the money go? That's where you come into it. You, as accountants, can shine, right? And it's not to pry and take this as an evil opportunity. It's to really, really help your clients. I get it, right? You're busy. You're in the middle of tax season in the United States right now, in Canada right now. I get it. But it's also an opportunity to appease your clients. You could run this as a group webinar. You could get some Zoom accounts, get them on Zoom. You may not want to do a physical workshop, but this was the guts of Cash Flow in a Crisis, managing cash in difficult times. If you'd like a copy of this, really straightforward, go to robnixon.com/5 ways. That's 5 ways. And you'll be able to get a copy of this spreadsheet. It's very simple. It doesn't have to have all the bells and whistles. You can work with your clients pretty quickly on this and make a dramatic difference to them and their lives and their businesses. And who knows, you might just save one or two. I hope you do. Go ahead and download it right now. It's my gift to you to help you out and really help your clients thrive in these difficult times. All the best. See you later. Bye-bye.